This poem is called The Early Rise. Electrical storm flashing, peeking through blackout curtains that take a break to quiver against forceful pellets of rain, beating glass with vigor, an alarm of natural splendor. Hello, everyone. It's James here. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Coffee Talk episode 4. We're on a roll now, aren't we? So I hope you've got your drink of choice. Mine, of course, is coffee. Otherwise, it would be called something like Water Talk, which is not nearly as fun, really, is it? So if you care to join me for a drink, then here we go. Lovely. So, yes, it's a very dull and dreary morning here in the UK. It seems like it's been raining all night. I went to bed at about 10:30 last night, and it was raining then. Um, and I got woken up about 4:30, something like that. And yeah, it was the rain came down hard at that point, and it took me a while to nod back off. And I woke up. I woke up before 8 today, actually. So yesterday I woke up about 9, which is late for me. And yeah, today I woke up at 7:30, which is lovely. Um, and it's still raining, and it's still raining now. So I think we had our summer in the UK a couple of weeks ago, and now we're in the doldrums. We're in the rainy July. So I got a ring. I bought a ring light to help brighten things up a little bit. It's on its lowest setting because when I put it on its highest setting before recording, it cast a shadow behind me, and I didn't really want that. So I decided to put it on its lowest setting, and yeah, I think it looks fine. You can actually see it in my glasses here every now and then. So basically, I wanted to invest in the channel because it is a growing channel, which is absolutely fantastic. Over 1,700 subscribers now, which looking back even a month ago, I didn't think that'd be a possibility. So it's absolutely astounding that all of you are here with me on my journey. And yeah, I hope we'll be together a lot more for the future. So yeah, the investments so far have been the new mic, the new camera, and the ring light. And I was saying yesterday about getting a gimbal for when I go outside, and I've ordered one of those. So yeah, another investment for the channel. So hopefully, when the weather starts clearing up a bit, I'll be able to take you all on a walk somewhere, which will be absolutely lovely, won't it? Um, yeah. So fingers crossed, the weather picks up and we can go somewhere nice and have a bit of a trudge around because there are so many lovely green spaces in the UK, and I would love to go out further afield as well than the UK and find some lovely picturesque places in Europe to go to, especially Italy. Um, One of the things that I would love to do is visit my nan's hometown, which is it's in the like the mountains or the hills of Calabria in southern Italy. So I'd love to go there and see the kind of places that she used to go to when she was younger, when she was a child. Because she used to tell me that, when she'd walk to school, there'd be like orange trees and things like that, and she could pick off an orange and eat it on the way to school. And that does sound rather heavenly. Because when I used to walk to school, I used to get 10p worth of sweets, and that's not quite the same, unfortunately. Although I did love me a 20 pence bag of penny sweets. I don't even know if they do those anymore, actually. I mean, maybe it's a very UK centric thing, the old pick and mix kind of stuff. But yeah, we used to have a newsagent that had a tray load of sweets on the counter, and then you could be like, one of them, one of them, one of them, one of them, and yeah, I used to get a 20p bag. I never used to get the 20p bag that they mixed because they'd always sneak in the aniseed balls, and I hate aniseed flavored stuff. Oh God, I think it's absolutely horrible. Um, but yeah, I guess they put them in the ready mixed bag because nobody actually wanted aniseed balls. Come on, let's face it. And I was always a fruit salad sweet kind of guy rather than blackjacks. I'm not a fan of licorice at all, really. I just find it to be a weird taste. And I think licorice is quite popular, isn't it? Because there are a lot of like licorice all sorts in the UK is quite a popular thing, isn't it? So, but nah, that's not for me. And I was thinking, I was a bit nostalgic about my childhood last night because I was thinking about the first story that I ever wrote, and I was actually only about 3 or 4 years old at the time, and it was on a computer. I used to have a Spectrum, a Sinclair Spectrum 128K. It was one of those things where you put the tape in to play games, and you press play on the tape, and then it do that wee 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 wee, that weird kind of loading noise, like a fax machine. Like, do you ever remember if you ever called a fax machine? He'd be like, "Hello," and then the fax machine would be like, wee, 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 wee. You know, that kind of thing. So I was only, yeah, I was only about 3 or 4, I think, and it was a story about, it was a wrestling match basically. I I just wrote a wrestling match, and that was it was I don't know if you guys ever watched WWF back in the 80s, but the biggest characters at that time in the late 80s were Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and the Ultimate Warrior for me anyway. We were a big Ultimate Warrior household back in there. I We had a VHS of his best matches, and it was, I think the tape was only like 40 minutes long, which says a lot about his best matches. But yeah, we loved him because he had so much like power and energy, and yeah, we used to watch WWF on tapes. I don't think it was quite out on satellite yet in the late 80s. I could be wrong. Um, but NWA was on ITV in the 80s because I remember watching Ric Flair when I was like so young, and he was actually on Saturday afternoon television here in the UK. So at one point, I would say that Ric Flair was probably a bigger star than Hulk Hogan in the UK. I mean, I could be wrong, but you know, to have ITV, the biggest, one of the biggest commercial channels in the UK, syndicate NWA slash WCW was quite a thing, and it would reach a really large audience. And yeah, I have a massive love of wrestling even now. Like I've been watching WWF, WWE since the late 80s, and I still watch it occasionally now. You know, people like Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, CM Punk, Rhea Ripley. Ah, Rhea Ripley, my love. She's my favorite. I absolutely adore Rhea Ripley. Um, yeah, it's it does give me a lot of nostalgia when I watch those shows, and I think it's because my nan was a massive wrestling fan too. Um, she would always stay up late to watch the live pay-per-views. So they came relatively late in the UK. I think the first live pay-per-view that they ever did in the UK was WrestleMania 12, and that was on, yeah, I think that was on Sky Movies. I remember it vividly because it was me, my nan, and my friend Stuart, and he came over to the house, to have like a watch of the live wrestling. And bless him, he managed to stay up fairly late. But at the end of it, it was just me and my nan who watched the Iron Man match between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, that hour-long classic. So yeah, that's always a lovely memory for me. And I think a lot of memories do center around like wrestling events and things like that. Because as I say, my nan was a massive fan of wrestling. We actually went to, I think we went to two or three live wrestling events together. There's a place in the southwest of England called Butlins in Minehead, and they would do live wrestling shows there, and we'd stay at the Butlins chalet for a few days and watch the wrestling, and then come back home, and that was always a nice experience. I enjoyed that a lot, and it's when my nan passed away, it was very difficult to watch wrestling for a while, I must say, because every time I would watch it, I would think of her, obviously. And when you've got such an intrinsic connection like that, it is difficult. And I'm sure, like, if any of you guys have, had somebody that you were close to pass away, and they were so connected with something in your life, it would be difficult to get through at first, I would say. And yeah, for me, it was very difficult to even watch the wrestling. But now I watch it and I think of the happy memories. And that does take time. It does take time. And obviously, when you go through things like grief, it's not a fixed timeline at all. It's something that is done on your terms. Some of us may never get over the grief that we have for those that we've lost, and some of us it might not take long at all. It's all dependent on yourself as a person, really. And I think I was very fortunate to have somebody in my life who had the same interests as I did, and we could share those kind of moments together. And yeah, I guess it's just one of those things that happens because we all lose somebody, and we all have those things that we would do together, and then you can't do them together anymore. And yeah, there is a sadness to it, but when it comes down to it, you have to think that you would carry on doing it because that's what they'd want you to do, I would say. And I'll drink to that. Aye. It's yeah, it's a very nice thing to have those memories, and they'll always be something that you cherish because we can all relate to the good memories we have of somebody, even though they're not here anymore. Um, and speaking of not being here anymore, old Foodie Beauty, she's almost one with the sea, isn't she? She looked very hot and bothered in her live earlier today. Um, yeah, it looks like she's not doing very well, especially when she had her sunglasses on. Did you notice when she had her sunglasses on and she like lifted them up? She actually had a dent. She had a dent here, which, you gotta be a really big gal or a big guy to have dents where your sunglasses sit. Good grief. Um, yeah, it kind of going back to like my nan. She was a type 2 diabetic, and she always um she was very very on point when it came to her diabetes, and how she tried to make sure that she was always within range. And she gave up a lot of her favorite foods in order to maintain a healthy blood sugar. So she loved her creme caramel and her chocolate eclairs and her fruit and nut bars and things like that. And she gave all that up just to, try and be healthy. And yeah, I think it does make me kind of angry to see somebody be so careless about their diabetes. Um, but what can you do with people who don't want to be helped? And like I've said numerous times before, I was at that point where I didn't want to be helped, and I'm glad I got myself out of that with the help of like cognitive behavioral therapy and other methods like charities, mental health charities like Mind here in the UK would have like peer-to-peer group sessions and things like that. And obviously, things like websites and stuff that didn't seem to help me initially, but as I look back on it, it was good to have stories that I could relate to. Um, like with you all telling me about your stories, there are some stories in your comments that I can relate to, and that heartens me because there are so many people out there that are trying to live their best life and are overcoming adversities, and yeah, that's a really heartening thing, and that's kind of why I was covering the foodie beauty content, because she's not living her best life, and it kind of got to me. But now I'm like, eh, she can do what she likes. She's a grown ass woman. I'm a grown ass man, doing my best. I spent like half an hour yesterday trying to get the best video of my calves, because my calves are quite defined now, which is lovely, and that didn't work out because the lighting was terrible, even with the ring light. So maybe we'll see some calf progress soon. But yeah, speaking of progress, actually, I would like to get properly into some gym time, like doing some weights, because I don't know, there's something exhilarating about lifting heavy things over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I think I want to get into that kind, not like being buff as heck, like bodybuilder styley. Yeah, just getting a bit toned and things like that. And now I weigh myself every day, so I know that building muscle is going to affect that. So there's going to be some points in my weight loss where I'm kind of sensing it now, actually, that the progress is slowing down because I'm doing a lot of walking, and walking in a heavy frame is going to be muscular work, because my legs are lifting, they're holding up this heavy part of my body essentially. So I wouldn't be surprised if my 1 pound a week weight loss is due to me gaining muscle and making progress in that avenue. It could be, but because I'm always under my calorie deficit, and I am still having a bit too much salt in my diet. So it could be a number of factors, and I'm obviously ruminating about it too much. But yeah, there could be any number of reasons. The most important thing is that the my clothes are fitting better, and my weight is going down slowly but surely. So I have been kind of I don't want to say depressed. I don't think that's the right word, because I know what real depression feels like. I've just been a bit glum, I suppose, for want of a better word. Just a bit glum about like my weight loss progress, because even though it is going down, it's going in the right direction. I feel like for the amount of calories that I'm consuming per day, which is between 1800 to 2200 per day, maybe I'm not eating enough calories. I don't know. It's I'm not going to suddenly be like, I can bend the laws of thermodynamics. It's just a lot of questions that are raised because, like I say, while losing 1 pound a week is good, I feel like I should be losing more every week. And that could be due to any number of factors, really. Um, but the important thing is that I feel healthier, I look healthier, and yeah, maybe it's just something I need to worry less about and just trust the process because that's what I've been doing this whole time. I think it might be because I'm on such a long weight loss journey and it's been going on since like 2020, 2021, 2022, something like that. Um, I would say 2021. So we're on our third year now where I properly, sorry, focused on my weight loss journey. And, I've been in a constant calorie deficit for the past 2 to 3 years. So it was obviously going to, slow down a bit at some point. And, I'm not going to be like these Gauls who say, I don't have any fat left on my body or anything like that. Yeah, I guess it's just annoying that I see a pound as being not enough. But that's like remnants of my old way of thinking because a pound, 1 to 2 pounds a week is absolutely fantastic. And that's the safe way of losing weight. So I think I'm just a bit annoyed with myself because I can't work out exactly why I'm not losing more. But I think it's mainly due to me doing a lot of exercise and perhaps my body is changing internally, so I've got more muscles and less visceral fat. Because as we saw in that video I did of me in the 2XL jumper, it fits a lot better now. So I'm definitely doing something right, and maybe I should start taking more measurements of myself to get that positivity back. So the first thing I need to do is buy a tape measure and see how we do there. So yeah. Ah, well, we'll see how we get on. That's all from me today. Well, not really. I've got a live stream later, but that's all from this video for today. And I hope to see you in the next one. So take care, guys. Bye.